Can a robot write a symphony? Can a robot turn a canvas into a beautiful masterpiece?
Can you?
One, two, three, four.
Hey guys, it's been ages since the last time I showed my face here, and to make up for that, I brought my friend with me. Say hi. So this video is going to be very different from any other video that I've done before. Why? Because in this video, we're going to get creative. So here's the thing. I've always had this idea of wearing something that was customized, that I had made personal. Either something I designed myself, or something that I sew together myself, or something that I write on or print something on. I've always wanted to do such a thing, but I've never actually done it. Until recently, I got some inspiration. I don't know from where, but I got some inspiration to actually start doing this. And I remember 4 years ago, I had drawn some portraits, and one of these portraits was a portrait of Stephen Bantu Biko, the South African anti-apartheid activist who led the Black consciousness movement back in the 1960s and 70s, but is eventually killed by the apartheid police at the age of 30 or 31, I believe. So I actually decided to take this portrait and transfer it to the back of my denim jacket and paint it. I think part of the reason for doing this is I remember I was talking to my sister about a week or two ago, and she was telling me about how fed up she is about South Africa and how much she would like to leave, right? And this sentiment is very common today, right? Like, I mean, a lot of things in South Africa, to be honest, are going to shit, right? And we all just project into the future that things are just going to go to shit in the country. And I mean, I think understandably so, right? Like, we look at the corruption, we look at load shedding, a lot of things that are just not going well. And I think it's quite natural to just assume things are just going to keep going to shit. But personally, I think there's something that when we make that assessment, we underestimate. And the thing that we underestimate, I think, is the potential of the youth of South Africa to make a difference. And I'm being quite honest here. This is my honest opinion. I don't think things are going to go to shit in South Africa at all. Maybe things will go to shit for the short term, but long term, 10, 20 years, 30 years from now, I think things are going to look very good for the country. And, you know, I believe when we're making any kind of prediction like this, right, you should look at the current state of things, but look at the direction in which things are going, or the rate of change of whatever state, you know, you're trying to predict into the future. And I see a lot of promise and potential and willingness, you know, and ability from the youth of South Africa. I see a lot of it. And because of that reason alone, I think we're going to have way better leaders in 10, 20 years from now. We are going to have better leaders, capable leaders, ethical leaders, all that good jazz that we want to see in our leaders. I think we're going to have it. And when I say the youth, I'm talking about people between the ages of 18, 40 to 45. There's a lot of promise if you do take the time to look at that demographic in South Africa. And, you know, I would even go as far as saying the majority of the youth in South Africa, wants things to go well for the country, and do see the failures that our current leaders have. You know, they do see the failings, and they do see the problems that need to be fixed in order to improve the situation in South Africa. And, you know, Stephen Bantu Biko, having been killed at the age of 31, but he had already been very influential during his time and continues to be influential to this day, is one of the great examples of the youth being a force for good. And I think for me, at least personally, to make this statement for myself or to remind myself of this on a daily basis, or at least on the days that I wear this jacket. I decided to paint this at the back of my jacket. To Stephen Bantu Biko, this is for you.
One, two, three, four. Three, two, one. One, two, three, four.
Guess what? Fun thing that has happened already as a consequence of this painting. This other day, few days back, 2 days back, I was walking around here and I had AirPods on, so I couldn't hear much that was happening around me. But eventually I had a voice calling over, over the music. Excuse me. And then obviously had to take off the AirPods and listen. Turns out that this is a couple that had spent 12 years living in KZN. And then they recognized the Steve Biko at my back, or on my back, and they started to strike a conversation, right? And they asked where I stayed, and turns out they stay in the same street as me. And they were like, you know what, the sun is coming out, so we should take your number and we'll invite you for a prize soon. So that was fun. All right, thank you for sticking here until the very end. And please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. And have a great one. Cheers.